Well, my friends, this is it. Time is called at the Brewshed. So we're pretty much all packed up in here, ready for the move. It's taken me ages. I now truly understand the meaning of the expression shed loads, because that's what I've got in here. So yeah, keys is all squared away, extra safety protection for that. All the brewing gear is all tucked up, ready to move in a couple of days. So I thought what I'd do in this video, rather than just showing you a packed up shed and lots of boxes, would be to do a little retrospective on some of the videos that I've done in here over the years before we move on to the new accommodation. So let's have a look back and see what's happened. So I've got two elements in that kettle, and usually just switch one off once it comes up. Feeding time for the chooks. Obviously you have to drink the beer out of it first. I know that's tough, but hey-ho, we have to suffer for our art. So what have we learnt here? Expanding foam expands quite a lot. So I gave up fighting the blob and have decided to let it do its own thing, and I'll just hack that off once it's dried out. Give a good bit of clearance in case there's any drips on the hose adapters. One thing I realised pretty quickly was that if you're using one of these, there's a lot going on there. Go. Pleased to say it was a brilliant night and really well attended. We had, I think in the end, the best part of 20, if not more people turned up. Wasn't even aware that there was, you know, the potential for that many people. I'm not really getting much of the chocolate. The cardamom is overpowering. The yeast, I think, has fermented it too low, so you know it's not kind of thick and full-bodied as I'd hoped. It's quite dry. What else can I say about it? Shit. Flexible, so I guess is why they've called it the universal regulator. You can screw it straight onto those other outputs to try and find out which one is actually leaking. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is basically go through the lines and basically clean them out. So let's go with that now. So sodium percarbonate is really good at breaking things out. I've got a hole up from the door here, so I can close that up. runs down to gases on the keg, use noble-ish, slightly spicy kind of Goldings type flavours in there. You can see I was pitching a big starter that was about 2 litres worth of Y yeast 2124 that was going in there, so it's always worth making a good starter with it. Okay, so there we have the finished product. Well, it looked a lot bigger than that on the pictures. I can't even fit my brew fridge in that sorry excuse for a shed. Guess it looks like we're not going to be brewing for a long while yet, unfortunately. Ah, well. And if you believe that, you'll believe anything. Let's go and look at the actual brewing area. So I'm using the garage in the new place, and as you can see, we have got loads of room in here. Even with some of the normal garage stuff like bikes and tools and all of that kind of thing, I've managed to split it up. So I've got, I think, the best part of 2/3 of it dedicated to the brewing gear. So yeah, down this end is just the bikes and usual kind of garage stuff, but everything from here forwards is my brewing stuff. Brought a few of the shelving racks with me. I'm using this, which was my old computer desk, for all the pots and stuff, so I've got those all on level. And the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed a few other minor alterations. The brewing kettle has got this little neoprene jacket that I sort of made up with some insulation underneath it, so we'll see if that makes any difference at all to the sort of thermal efficiency of it. Maybe it will help it come up to temperature a little bit quicker. I've done a little bit of work on the plumbing for the pump here, so replacement tubes finally, because the other ones were looked like coffee coloured. They were so stained, so I fancied changing those out. This is the nice thick tubing from Malt Miller. Really good. As you can see, it doesn't kink, as they said, even when you've got quite a bit of weight or pressure on it. And I've added a T-piece and an extra tap just as a bleed valve on there, so that when it gets airlocked I can just release that. Also to help drain out the tubes as well, without having to sort of lift the pump up in the air and do that to recover any extras. So yeah, anyway, that's the kind of main brewing bit there. I've got way more space for storage, mainly because I can go sort of up onto shelves on the walls and stuff. There is some space above us. You can see where there's gaps in the plasterboard. I think they took those ones down to put the boiler venting in, but there's quite a bit of roof space above here, so I put a few boards up there and shoved a load of other stuff up there just to keep it nice and roomy. But all the main brewing gear's down here. Yep. So, kegerator, keezer, got my glasses and stuff up. The brew fridge is over here. While it was very cold, this was struggling a bit to keep temperature up, but I've got it just running. There's nothing in there at the moment, but I've just got it running at the minute. It seems to be okay. I was going to buy an extra tube heater, but I might not bother now. We acquired an extra freezer, so of course that's already got a whole load of hops in there as well. Unfortunately, the tumble dryer is still taking up some space, but that's what I've got to work with at the moment. I'm pretty chuffed with it. And today I'm going to be christening it with its first brew, which will be this mash kit here. I'll be doing a video about that specifically. I'll put a link to the website that that's from as well down the bottom, so you can go and check that out. But I'll be doing a review for that. And yeah, so this is it. I've got a few plans, sort of long term. Hopefully, eventually, I'm going to split this space. Kind of like what New to Homebrew Tom has done recently. So probably putting a partition across here and kind of split it into front bit of the garage for the bikes and everything, and then the rest of it as the actual brewery space. Put up some stud walls and that, and actually line it out, and yeah, kind of turn it into a, well, it's going to be a brewery, but for the purpose of, you know, in the future, if we come in to sell it and everything, it can be looked at as a kind of utility space as well, which should be a benefit. That door needs swapping out. It's got a massive hole in it from where they had a cat flap on it. I took the wood off of there to vent the tumble dryer out initially. So I need to put something back over that, but the wood was rotten anyway, so that needed to go. But yeah, I want to swap that out for a decent door at some point. And then even more long term, down the end of the garden, once I've burnt down that pathetic little shed, at some point, probably in the fairly distant future, I'd like to build a proper pub shed type summer house thing and put these things out there. Get some decking and barbecue area around all of that and everything. And that's what we'll be looking at. So yeah, but in the meantime, most important job for now is to get this fired up, get some beer brewed, fill up the kegs, because the situation's looking a little bit desperate in terms of beer at the moment. I haven't brewed for months now due to the move and everything else going on. So yeah, I'm going to get brewing, get some more videos out. Got a few reviews to do for beers that I've been sent. Thanks to everyone who sent me beers in the meantime during the move and over Christmas. That's really helped keep me going. And yeah, more videos to come, guys. So if you've got any ideas looking at this space of things that I could do to improve it, or ideas for how we can convert this a bit more, looking a bit further forwards, do let me know. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some more brewing in here as soon as possible. Well, today, in fact. So let's get to it. All right, see you later, guys.
I'm the dude, so that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness, or duder, or, you know, El Duderino, if you're not into the whole brevity thing.